Wizards of the Coast unintentionally gave us a glimpse into the future today. They accidentally announced Jumpstart Historic Horizons and let us know that Modern Horizons 2, and even brand new cards that don't exist in paper Magic will be coming to Magic Arena.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The Magic Historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, today is a big news day in the world of Magic the Gathering. This is the second video I've put out today. If you didn't see the earlier video, we're actually talking about how there's a confirmed return to both Kamigawa and Dominaria coming. So I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this video in case you want to check that out. Now, I was not expecting for Wizards of the Coast to slip up. This announcement was supposed to come out on July 26th to prime us for what's coming in August, but it accidentally got released ahead of schedule, and not for a very long period of time. But regardless, this is the internet. Once you make something available, it's really hard to claw it back. So people were able to grab screenshots of the announcement, so we're going to go through it now rather than waiting until the 26th. All right, so it says Jumpstart Historic Horizons packet lists. Jumpstart Historic Horizons arrives August 12th exclusively on MTG Arena, and with it come hundreds of cards from Modern Horizons 2, and more, including 31 new to Magic cards you'll only find in this digital release. Now, for me, that is the most curious part of this announcement. The fact that we're going to be getting brand new cards that don't exist in a physical capacity and only exist in a digital capacity. Now, in the most technical sense, we've got a few cards like that on Arena already, but they're basically like vanilla garbage cards. None of them are exciting or powerful, and all of those cards pretty much have better versions available in regular Magic cards. But this promises the potential of us getting cards that are genuinely powerful or have crazy effects that would be very difficult to bring into physical Magic. Whereas in digital Magic, you could have a creature that comes into play and gains the ability of a random creature from Magic the Gathering. I'm totally making this up, but imagine a creature that cost like 1 blue and X mana, and it came into play with an ability from a creature with converted cost equal to the X that you spent. So if you spent X as 3 mana, then it would look through all the creatures that existed on Arena, pick a creature that has an ability, basically pick a creature that costs 3 to cast normally, and pick a random ability from that creature and put it onto the creature you just cast. Now, that's just a totally made up concept out of my imagination off the top of my head, but it gives you a pretty good idea of how wide open we are in terms of what they could add into the game. And if you have some interesting ideas of what they could include as arena-only variations of cards, then let me know in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious. Now, let us continue with the announcement. If you're familiar with the original Jumpstart release on Arena, you'll know that you select from themed packets to build a deck for play. Jumpstart Historic Horizons ups the fun by introducing an exciting new dynamic to your packet picking and deck building. Now, select card slots in each packet have a chance to be filled with alternate cards that fit the packet theme. This means more card possibilities in each pack and more variety for your decks every time you play. I mean, to me, this doesn't really feel any different than the previous Jumpstart, unless I'm missing something, because the previous Jumpstart had different variations. If you got the Elf packet, for example, there were different cards that would be included in different variations of the Elf packet. So I will admit that this part kind of throws me for a loop. I don't genuinely understand what they mean by this. It sounds like the same difference as the original Jumpstart. Now, as you can see, the next line here says, for full details and event information, read, what is MTG Arena's Jumpstart Historic Horizons. So we don't have access to all of that. The crazy screen capture guys who were able to get this stuff quickly were only able to capture a few different screenshots. So we'll go through all the information we have. But for now, at least up until July 26th, we're only going to have some of the information. But I definitely don't quite get the idea of a new dynamic to packet picking and deck building where select cards in each pack have a chance to be filled with alternate cards. What's the difference from that and having different packets where, because the variation in the previous Jumpstart packs were only a few cards anyway, so I don't really feel like this is anything different. Unless I'm missing something. If you get it, explain it to me, because apparently I'm not smart enough to figure it out. So it says, we're previewing new cards in Jumpstart Historic Horizons over the coming week. So if you want to be among the first to see what's in the set, check out where to find Jumpstart Historic Horizons previews. I'll probably cover them here too if you want to talk about the cards. So you can look there or you can swing back by here because I do love talking about new Magic cards and I do play Arena. So I have no problem going over that. It continues. You can also see what's new to the set with our Jumpstart Historic Horizons card image gallery. Below are the core packet lists in Jumpstart Historic Horizons, and each is followed by a table showing the alternate card possibilities. Reading across each row, you'll find that the card names and their chance of appearing in the slot of that packet. So basically, they're going to tell you all the different variations. Now, I don't have that information. I do have one Jumpstart packet, and we'll go over the contents of it. But before we do that, I have additional information that I would like to cover. And that is, where are the basic lands? So, in the previous Jumpstart kits, or packets, I should say, each pack came with a special themed basic land that was tuned specifically to that kit. So they had like a dog themed one with a special dog themed land. The land that mattered the most was the Phyrexian text swamp, which is most likely what's going to show up in those Phyrexian Praetor secret layers for everyone across the board. But either way, they had special themed basic lands that were one of the biggest draws for the Jumpstart packs. So it is wise, in my opinion, for them to address where are the basic lands, because the basic lands apparently aren't going to be included. Or hold on, let's read through this in case I missed something, because admittedly, I got hyped when I saw this information. It was like, let's go, let's talk about the news. So, where are the basic lands? You'll notice that basic lands aren't included in the packet list. That's another feature that MTG Arena adds to this release. When you play in Jumpstart Historic Horizon events, you'll automatically receive a mix of basic lands based on the packets you choose, balanced for the costs and activated abilities on the spells in your packets. Oh, okay, I get it. I was thinking just about the special basic lands, but they're saying they're not bothering to put the basic lands in the packet list because it's going to automatically give us a mix of basic lands. All right, I mean, when it comes to their auto-including land thing, I'm of two minds. It tends to work okay if you're building a 60-card deck, but as soon as you go outside the normal bounds of what you're dealing with, like, for example, I have a 250-card green deck on Arena. Arena has no earthly clue on how many lands it should suggest to me for that deck to work, right? So, in this case, the Jumpstart is going to be a set amount of cards each time, so it's probably reasonable to expect that the land mix will work properly, but you never know because we are dealing with Arena, right? So it says, even better, you'll also receive 2 non-basic lands for play. I mean, we did get 1 non-basic land in the previous ones, right? At least the multicolored ones. Those awesome thriving lands where they tap for 1 color and you can choose a second color that they make. I like those lands. So, even better, you also receive 2 non-basic lands for play. Packets you choose will add cycling lands from Historic Anthology 2, such as Secluded Steppe, or multicolored dual lands from Core Set 2020, such as Dismal Backwater, as of the appropriate colors to your deck. Cycling lands for packets with 1 color, and dual lands for packets with multiple colors. I do like that regardless of whether you choose to go multiple color avenue or if you just go one, like if you go hardcore monocolor, you're not going to get left out with getting a couple special lands, right? Because the way Jumpstart works is you choose 2 different packets. It's actually a really fun concept. I do genuinely enjoy the idea of Jumpstart. So if you end up picking 2 different color packets, you will automatically get appropriate lands that go with your 2 color combination. And if for some reason you end up with monocolored, which can happen either because the 2 packets that you've picked share a color or you just double up. Every once in a while, you'll literally get 2 copies of the exact same packet, which just gives you that extra redundancy where you can be guaranteed to get multiple copies of the cards so that you have a higher incidence of them showing up in your hands. However, there is the fact that these packs do have that level of variation that they talked about with the different slots that they're doing. So even if you pick 2 packets with the exact same name, you won't get 2 identical ones. Oh, you know what? I think I just figured out what's going on with the packet thing. Here's the thing. I was thinking about common packets before. In the previous Jumpstart, they had different rarity of packets. They had common packets, they had uncommon packets, rare and mythic rare packets. And so for things like mythic rare packets, which were the 5-color rainbow packet, the Phyrexian packet, there were no variations. If you got a mythic rare packet, you automatically got the specific list with 0 variation. So I understand what they're saying now. They're saying even with the packets that they didn't create multiple variations of, they've created slot variations. Or maybe each packet only exists as one type now and they're not calling them common, uncommon, whatever. Although I expect underneath they probably will make certain packets harder to come by because they want to make you chase the cards. If these are the only way that you can get these cards, depending for your decks, right? Part of it is going to boil down to, remember how I mentioned they had the special basic lands that they included? You couldn't craft those with wild cards. You had to actually acquire the cards through packs. Now, I suspect that Wizards probably isn't going to do that with these historic cards, right? The ones that are coming from Modern Horizons and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they let us craft those with wild cards. But the brand new cards to Arena that only exist on Arena, it wouldn't surprise me if they said you can only get them from Jumpstart packs. They're going to want to have some way to keep you cracking them aside from just the play experience of it. Now, this is just wild speculation on my part because bear in mind, we're not even supposed to know about this until Monday, and we're getting to find out about it on Friday. So, who knows 100% how it's going to go. But either way, as returning to the point that I went aside from, I do like the fact that cycling lands for monocolored, dual lands for multicolored works great. So, it continues. If you haven't acquired these lands before, they'll also be added to your collection, and these non-basic lands are considered before basic lands are determined for your deck. So basically that's just saying when the computer program determines how many lands to put in your deck, it's going to include these lands first so you don't end up with too many lands. All right, now we do have one packet list. This is the only one that's available. So this is called animated, right? So in this one you get a Floodhound, Burdened Aerialist, Animating Fairy, Skilled Animator, Hard Evidence, Rise and Shine, Resculpt, Witching Well, Giant's Amulet, Icy Manipulator, and Ethereal Grasp. You'll notice that's only 11 cards. So the other 9 cards are going to be filled in with lands, at least roughly. It may not go up to a full 40, that part isn't clear, but your 12th card will be a non-basic land, and then theoretically up to 8 more lands, although that does add, what would you have? If you had the 9 lands for 2 packets, you've got 18 lands. 18 lands for a 40 card deck is maybe a little bit too much. I don't know if it's going to alter it based on the casting costs and maybe reduce it by 1, but I believe they're probably going to go the same route and create 40 card decks. Now, when it comes to the cards that are listed here, I assume that each packet will probably have 1 new card. That's my guess. When I'm looking at this, I know Floodhound, Animating Fairy, Skilled, I believe. Well, I know for a fact, Floodhound, Skilled Animator, you know what, looking at this, I can't be sure. Which I know Giant's Amulet, Witching Well, Icy Manipulator, Resculpt, Floodhound, those already exist off the top of my head. Animating Fairy, Skilled Animator sounds like something that was from a core set. Hard Evidence, Rise and Shine. There's one in here, my guess is there's one in here that doesn't already exist as a pre-existing Magic card, right? And probably, if I was a genuine professional, I would have gone through all these cards and searched them up before recording the video. But since I'm just some goofy internet goof, I didn't think to do that. So, if one of you wants to be kind enough to go through all that and sort out if one of these doesn't already exist, feel free to do that. I was just so excited to be like, oh my god, look at guys, Modern Horizons cards, brand new cards to Arena. I gotta record a video about this right away. Professionalism, what's that? And you know what? Since I'm so professional, you should join my Patreon. And a big thank you to all my patrons for supporting my channel on that note. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Go watch the other video I put out today talking about Kamigawa Neon Dynasty and Dominaria United, because those will be coming. They are upcoming Magic products. But that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for coming by, my friends. See you next time.